So welcome to our chat about empowered balance and calm. So happy you're joining me here today. I'm recording this at a favourite spot. It's only about 15 minutes from home, and when I thought I was doing this recording, I thought, I get an excuse to head over to Staveley. So I hope you can hear me well. Please excuse me if at any time I need to swat away a sandfly. There is a few around, being near the bush and water. But I just thought this is a place I come to find my balance again. And I've decided that if you're in balance, you feel empowered and you feel calm. It just all flows together. So I just want to share with you things that I have found important in my life, and so that I can maintain my balance. And we look at balance in all areas of our body, our being. So we look at our physical body and how are we maintaining balance in our body. If we have busy and stressful lives, what are we doing for our exercise, our recreation? If you are full on, busy, it's wise to not just do full on, hard out exercise. So I'm not saying don't do it, but if running hard out at the gym, cycling with a mission, do those things if the endorphins really help balance your calm. However, also think about what do you do to bring a greater flow and an ease through your body when you are also moving. Okay, so it may be, okay, I've got a busy life, I really love going to the gym, but I'm also going to consider perhaps just going for a walk, just a gentle walk in nature. I might say, well, I think I'll bring some yoga into my life, Tai Chi, swimming, or just a slow bike ride. So just consider the balance you maintain between busyness and stillness, and when you're moving your body full on, and when you're just gently honouring it in a different way. They all work, but they're learning that sometimes being too full on with your physical exercise can bring a stress to your nervous system again. And if you've got a stressful life, it's best to balance that with times where there's a bit more ease in your recreational movement. Okay? Now, if you are the flip side, which I was for many years actually, not moving enough. You know, sometimes when you're feeling weighed down, whether that's physically with weight or emotions or just energy, and everything's quite hard, just be really kind to yourself and to begin to think, well, what could I do? Where might I just have a wee walk to? Without expectations, without, just I'm going to do something for 5 minutes. And I'm not going to have to have an outcome. I'm just going to go outside and do something. And then reflect back how you feel when you've done that little thing. I always found when I set myself, right, I'm going to do 5 minutes. And it would be like 15, 20 minutes. But it's just, you get the neural feedback that makes your body feel better, your mood lifts, and it's better for your health. But please, ladies, through all of this, no judgment. All I'm doing is sharing things that I was doing not well and things I do better. And believe me, my balance is not around 365 days a year. It just isn't. That's not life. But when I find that when I come out of balance, I can now get myself back in. I can come back to my center. I can come back to my empowered strength and balance and calm. And it just feels better. And it's better for those around me. So, with the physical body, assess what you do for action and rest. How much are you moving? How much are you resting? Are they in balance for you? Because we're all different. We then look at our also on the physical level, think about what you do with your day. If you're sitting a lot, I wouldn't be sitting on a rowing machine for my exercise. If you're sitting or driving, the body can be hunched over a little bit. So what movements open and expand through your body? Let yourself fill your lungs. If we're standing a lot, do you want to lie down sometimes for some of your exercise? So just take a snapshot of your bodies, take a snapshot of your life, and just see, how can I just tweak little things to bring a deeper balance into my whole being? Okay, tick, physical side. Then we look at our breath. So our breathing is just naturally a balance, an in-breath and an out-breath. Yet when we are out of balance, when we're stressed, when we're tense, often we are really inhaling. We're breathing, and we're breathing, and we're breathing, and we're not exhaling out. So if you find that your body feels tight, just exhale. Just take a big sighing breath out. And it's so interesting because your shoulders soften down, your jaw relaxes, and your body's clever. Because you take a long out breath, the in breath will naturally deepen. So you will have seen that there's breathing exercises. You may like to formalize them and use those because they are brilliant. But you don't have to. You can just, I'm out and I'm tense. 3 long deep breaths, and it brings a balance through to the emotions and the thoughts. Okay, physical body, breathing. So the next one we're looking at is our emotions. Now this is something that I have battled, and battling is probably the right term, with this over probably since I've had children, and I felt quite a failure because I wasn't able to maintain my emotional balance. And I look back and I think I was so mean to Janet in those days, because I always think of it now like a car that doesn't have the right fuel in it. How the heck can it run smoothly? Your hormones are your fuel, and if they come out of balance, which it happens so easily, especially with the modern society we live in, with what we're eating, with what we're exposed to, the body works harder to maintain its balance. So I do invite you, if you struggle with PMT, with perimenopause or menopause, or just overwhelm in your emotions, do seek help. Do look into ways that you can be supported, because this is a physical thing and we judge ourselves harshly often with it, and we don't deserve it. We deserve support, and when you get the balance right, life is sweet. Life is very sweet. So I have found, personally, I found the GP system, working with your local GP, unless you have a brilliant one, it was a bit limiting. They saw things too black and white, and we're often in the grey in the middle. So I have found, I've worked with natural hormone therapies for many years with a natural progesterone cream, and I have put the link in the bottom of the resources below, in the PDF at the bottom of the course. But also I have a wonderful naturopath, and I would recommend that you look into this for yourself. It's amazing what they can do with natural remedies just to maintain a balance. And sometimes it's just support for a while your body comes back to its centre, and then you don't need it. But I do recommend, and I've put who I use for a naturopath down the bottom. And my naturopath lives 3 hours away one way, and the natural hormones Felicity, who I work with, is at the top of the North Island, so I don't know how long away that is, a couple of hours in an aeroplane. So they don't have to be in your local community for you to get really good support. Okay, so I just recommend you look for support. You're not alone. You shouldn't be alone. You deserve to be helped to come to your balance. Also, emotions and thoughts are really linked. I invite you to listen to your self-talk. How you talk about yourself to yourself. Oh, you stupid woman, what did you do that for? Oh my goodness, I'm always late. Oh no, I've lost it again. Oh, I'm hopeless. Because it's not true. It so isn't true, and you wouldn't talk that way to good friends. But we do it. And I've come to realise I need to treat myself as my best friend. My physical body and the internal Janet and the little girl Janet who's inside me. I deserve to be really honoured, and I get things wrong, and I'm incredibly human. But that's life. It's not that I'm a terrible person. It's that, perhaps next time I'll do that better. When we are saying mean things to ourselves, it affects your whole physiological system. The body sees it as a threat. And my goodness, isn't it something that we could easily change that would then let the hormonal balance and the emotional balance be more regulated? So do look at the way you're talking to yourself, and I also invite you to look at your perspective of how you view things. If we're looking from a negative lens, we see the negative. Like I could be here and going, there's sand flies, there's no sun where I'm sitting. I can't think of anything else negative, to be honest. Or you can go, I am in such a beautiful spot. I am doing this when a lot of people are doing jobs that are much harder work. I am blessed. So if we can observe our view as we look at things and bring in gratitude, as much as you can bring in gratitude for even the hardest things, eventually there's something to be grateful for. Don't judge yourself if you're in a time of overwhelm and you can't find anything. But know when the time's right, you begin to go, oh, I'm really pleased because of this. I'm so happy for the people in my life. I am grateful I have food. I am grateful I have shelter. And I am so grateful I live in New Zealand. We are so blessed. Okay? So, thoughts, perspective, gratitude. And another part to look at is your connection, your community. Do you have people in your life that understand you? I actually found my tribe when I went to yoga, because I have people in my life who have come through my life, but the people who really get me now are quite different than my school friends. And so to feel supported and honoured and held, you need to have some people, not many necessarily, but some who get you. They mightn't agree with everything you do, but they love and accept you anyway. And it's really important to find those people, to not judge how they come packaged, because we are all so different, but you just to be open to finding support, uplifting friends that when you spend time with them, you feel heard. Sometimes you dump on them, sometimes they dump on you. It's all accepted, and it's just like a hug. So I do invite you, and don't be overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed if at this stage you think, I've got no one in my life like that, because I did feel that. But it was a perspective thing. Once I decided I'm ready to find my people, I found my people, and I have them in my local community now. I didn't when I said, there's no one here who understands me. I never saw them. Now, amazing people in my life. So do look for your community. And also, we look outside for connection. Okay, so there's the human connection. But also to bring balance, that's part of why I'm recording here and as many classes as I can outside. Because connect with nature. Connect with the broader picture. We can get stuck with our minds into the negative, into the heavy, into the overwhelming, into the scarcity mentality. Or we can just come out and take a big breath and go, my goodness, I have things I need to deal with, but life is still good. There is still amazing things out here. And when I'm in nature, a lot of stuff just dissolves away. So find connection, whether that's with a higher power, the divine, God, nature, the universe, special people. Whatever connections empower you and allow you to feel balanced and calm. Look for them, make time for them, and really enjoy them coming into your being. Another thing that I have found very useful in times of overwhelm is journaling, writing down your thoughts. Now, I'm not someone who's done it every night for years. I tend to flick in and out of it. I go back and read it. I thought that was really useful, but I might have only done it for a couple of weeks, 3 years ago. But I came to see its value probably in the last 2 years, when there was an interaction that really did overwhelm me, and I was spitting tacks on the inside. And so I went away, and I just wrote down all my thoughts and feelings, uncensored, effing and blinding and what and who and blah, 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 and got it out. It's a bit like a And then I read it and I thought, oh my goodness, Janet, that's not true. That's not right. Look at that. What are you telling yourself, girl? Not with judgment, but just with amazement, really. And what I found is that I came to my balance again. You know, you often have the of hormones go through, so it takes a little bit to come back to it. But it was like, could go back and not react, not overact. Don't blame and don't shame and don't, you know, look at it from that perspective of poor me, I'm wounded. Look at it from, okay, rightio, we see things differently, and come in and then be able to shine your light, be yourself. I also find journaling good if you're overwhelmed and it's time to go to bed. The mind is just going, and it can be about what happened in the day, what should happen tomorrow. Just write it down. Just write it down. And it's like it shuffles the cards and it puts them neatly away in the deck to go to sleep. Otherwise, if you're like me, you start on one thought and it leads to another and now, and you go down a rabbit hole and you're trying to work out world peace at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I do invite you, write it down. I actually write now, my journal is not easy to read. It's more about getting it out than going back and reading it. It's quite safe if anyone tried to read my journal because I often can't read what it says. But it's not about that for me. For me, it's getting it out of my head onto the paper, and then it can just rest. So I hope this sharing has been useful to you. I have got a list down here that I'm just going to really quickly, nothing else there that needs to matter. One thing I will mention is appointments for your self-care. Probably if you're listening to this, you are someone who nurtures others, who gives out of themselves. And we can forget to be open and receive and invest in our own well-being. I have a regular massage. I see an osteopath regularly. As I say, I've got my naturopath. I have a Chinese medicine treatment regularly when I can. And I take time for me, like today, out in nature. And I make those happen. It's taken me many years to do this. Can I just please ask you to be kind to yourselves if you go, I can't do that. I have had regular massages for a lot of years, and I wouldn't, that's part of my balanced maintaining. But what works for you? You know, what is self-care to you? You know, is it going and having a bubble bath with your candles and music? What is self-care to you? Please think about it, because it helps your balance. When you are balanced, you have more to give, whether it's to your family, to your work, to your relationships. But you need to give to yourself. You need to give to yourself. So think about it. Know you're worth it. Know you are worth it. And if money is an issue, find something that you can still do for yourself that costs less. And I find it's quite interesting that once we start saying, I'm worthy of things, when it comes to looking for something, you actually have the finances for that massage or whatever you need. But take time for you. The world is a better place when you're in your balance. You have more joy in your life. Sleep is kinder and more replenishing. And life's just sweeter. So thank you for joining me today. I wish you empowered, balanced and calm in all layers of your being. And may you have a day filled with harmony. Thank you and namaste.